Static electricity, it's us moving to the sound. Your hips are all I need.
What's up everyone, Groj Gaming here, welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today I've got this 12 win Grand Challenge chest to open using this deck here. So it's a log bait deck essentially, I guess a zap bait deck as well. Not too many people running zap at the moment really. So yeah, you've got 4 things that need logging really. Princess, Skelly Army, Goblin Barrel and the Dark Goblin. So yeah, here is my battle log. So I only lost 1 game using this deck. It does say that I did lose 2, but that was using another deck, you know, experimenting around. So we're going to jump into the first replay with the Giant, Lightning, Electro Wizard, Prince deck. I think he has Executioner in there as well, so it's a pretty heavy deck. So obviously with this deck you want to bait out any kind of log, zap and spells that you can using your offensive cards so that you can really shut down their pushes very easily. Similar in terms of defense to my last video. So I gave him a pretty value lightning, but he can't zap the Inferno again, so we just log the Electro Wizard away. So he managed to get a lightning on the tower, and he's going to want to pump up, but I need to apply some pressure onto him, so I'm going to go for Goblin Barrel and the Dark Goblin. If I'd have just waited a second, I could have probably Goblin Barreled the pump, but I didn't know that at the time, so just had to settle for a little bit of damage. You can also use the rocket as a way to shut down their entire push, you know, to gain an elixir advantage. For example here, so he used 7 on the minions and Electro Wizard, and I shut that down with 3 with the Knight. Same again on the right. 3 for 5 on the Executioner. So we're ahead on elixir. Just want to apply some pressure, get a bit more chip damage with the little Dark Goblin there. It actually does a surprising amount of chip damage because it shoots so quickly that people they can't react to it quick enough. So I kind of had to accept a bit of Prince damage there. And I'm separating my Princess from my Inferno Tower. So that it can't be lightninged as well. So he did get lightning and 1 shot with the Giant, and he's already cycled back to his Giant. I was going to try and snipe the Executioner there with the Dark Goblin, but it's okay, we're going to shut it down with the Skelly Army. So he's kind of just having to do makeshift pushes, which is what you want to make your opponent do. You don't want them to get the entire push going. That was actually a bad play by me. I didn't need to put the Dark Goblin down there. So my thinking here was to use the Inferno Tower on both the Executioner and the Giant. But in the end it worked out fine. Got the Skelly Army there, he didn't have anything to do with that. Just going to use the Dark Goblin to make sure oh my days, that log got so much value. I didn't think the Princess and Dark Goblin would actually go into the range of that. So I'm putting my Inferno Tower out of range of the lightning. So look at this. He lightnings the tower, a skeleton and the Dark Goblin, so he really didn't get much value out of that lightning at all. So I'm just chipping away with the Princess. That's 2 shots. And the Goblin's got a tiny bit of damage, I think. Which now puts me in log and rocket range. So not a bad game overall. I haven't been using this deck too long, so I'm not fully aware of the best combinations to use and the best way to use it, but you can sort of pick it up pretty quickly, chip your opponent down, and then, you know, use the rocket and log at the end of the game to just finish it off. So we're going again against a bowler barrel mirror deck, so it's a pretty annoying deck. Obviously the bowler's super strong against quite a few of my cards. So first thought here was, don't let him get any chip damage with the furnace. Throw a goblin barrel over to the right just to test out his defenses. And he kills my princess, so I'm just going to log back, get a nice bit of value over there. I didn't realise he actually had the goblin barrel at the time. So we do have to accept a bit of damage here on the right hand side. And he goes pretty aggressive with another log as well, so realising that, I go with a knight and a goblin barrel combination, which goes from 2216 to 1471, so that was nearly 800 damage just because he wasted a log there. So very happy with that. Got the princess down, so just waiting to see what his play is. I should have been ready with a log to take out his princess, and that would have given my princess even more value, but I wasn't quick enough there. So I'm actually going to save my log here and kill the princess with a Skami, which then he has to respond to, so that was my thinking there. And this next play is really bad. I knew he was going to go for the long barrel, and I could see it, but for some reason in my mind, I just threw the log how I would normally throw it. Like I genuinely knew he was going to throw it deep. I could see it coming, and just completely messed it up. Obviously, I'm no pro player who makes no mistakes. You just have to accept your mistakes and just kind of move on and try and improve the game from there. So I'm going to protect this princess with the knight here, and I was wasting a bit of elixir there, but I was just thinking, is it the best play to use my log there? And I was quite happy with that. Take out the rest of the furnace and the princess. Have to get another princess down over here and use a Skami for the goblin barrel. I quite like the dark goblin because he snipes any kind of building if they don't have the right placement on it. So I'm going for a deep barrel, and he doesn't predict it properly, which gets me a couple of hundred damage, and he actually has to use a second mirrored log on my barrel, so that was he used 5 elixir to defend that barrel. I'm actually going to log back his princess to just get a bit more value there. Desperately trying to defend the left hand side, and then it looks like the knight is actually going to clutch it for us, get us in rocket range. So again, we're winning the game with a rocket. I mean, it's not exactly the nicest tactic, but wins your game, so it doesn't matter. Right, so we're not going to watch the loss. I didn't play that very well, and that minor poison deck is super strong. So we want to show you a golem deck. So this guy's tactic was actually quite interesting. He used the battle ram to sort of bait out my inferno tower. So obviously here I was like, what? I've not really seen the battle ram too much, so not exactly sure how to defend it all the time. So I guess that was a smart play by him. He baited out my inferno tower, which gave his golem a clean run through to my tower without any defenses in the way. I'm getting some chip from the princess here though, which is always welcome. And I'm placing the dark goblin in the middle of my towers so he can't get too much log value there. Obviously I baited out his log, so my Skami is free. The knight actually went down pretty quickly for some reason. I think the executioner and dark goblin got rid of that. But he did use his log a minute ago as well, so I knew that I could use my goblin barrel, and it got a bit of chip damage there, which is nice. So check this out. The dark goblin is insane. So it tanks the Electro Wizard, and then with a log it completely shuts down the battle ram, which I found quite interesting. Here I don't want to over defend too much because I've spent a fair amount of elixir, so I'm just going to let that Executioner do its thing. Obviously because he then has to deal with my princess as well, so there goes the log. So now I know it's my time to use the Goblin Barrel. And he's not defending it too well, it's chipping him down. I can then just do this combination each time to shut down his counter pushes. So I don't think he's actually pumped up at all, has he? So I'm just applying a lot of pressure on him and not allowing him to pump up. Made him use his Executioner on the right hand side there, which he obviously didn't want to do. So I kind of thought my Inferno Tower would stay up for the Golem, but it doesn't matter. This was really bad for me. I gave him insane log value. 6 for 2 there. But we're shutting his push down fine. Just going to get a safety Inferno down. And yet again, I'm going to win the game with a rocket. So that's what you want to do. You want to chip the opponent down with the Goblin Barrel, with the Princess, Dark Goblin, and just log them and rocket them away at the end. Pretty comfortable in the end. I think if you practice with this deck and get used to the synergy of all the different cards, you could probably get 12 wins very often. So obviously 11 epics, 110 rares in this chest. We'll open that up now. Hoping to get some decent cards here. Inferno Tower, Battle Ram, Executioner, Freeze, Witch, 3 Musks, Archers, Elite Barbarians, stop giving me them please. Dark Goblin, Arrows, for God's sake. And a Miner, wow. So a Legendary out of a 12-win chest, I'll take that any day. I could do with getting my Miner to level 3, that would make it more usable for me higher up. Obviously start another Grand Challenge, just got to keep grinding those cards. But anyway guys, this has been the deck. I've thrown in a few tips there. There's no pro tips here like, you know, Marcel P or anyone like that, but I do my best to give my tips and how I play decks. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.